Welcome back to our channel. Today, we bring you two significant updates that highlight the Philippines' steady progress in building its air capabilities, both for the Philippine Air Force and the Philippine Coast Guard. As tensions remain high in the West Philippine Sea, every new asset counts. Let's take a closer look at these new additions and what they mean for the country's defense and maritime security posture. On April 24, 2025, the Philippine Air Force formally received and inducted a new Cessna C208B Grand Caravan EX aircraft in a ceremony that marked another important milestone in the modernization of the country's airlift capabilities. Now, while this is already the fourth C208B in PAF service, this particular aircraft is unique. It was not donated or acquired through military aid from the United States like the other three. Instead, this aircraft was locally funded, paid for using the General Appropriations Act of 2023. This is an important distinction because it directly reflects the Philippine government's commitment to self-sustaining its defense needs. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Unlike the other three ISR-configured Grand Caravans, this aircraft was not equipped for intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance operations. It lacks the sophisticated sensors, cameras, and signal-gathering equipment found on the U.S.-donated versions. Instead, this newly acquired aircraft will take on a very different role. It's been assigned to the 223rd Airlift Squadron under the 220th Airlift Wing, clearly emphasizing its role as a utility and transport platform. This means it will primarily be used for personnel movement, cargo transport, and possibly humanitarian assistance and disaster response missions. Its versatility and rugged short takeoff and landing capabilities make it especially suitable for archipelagic operations. It can easily access short, unpaved runways on remote islands, bringing supplies, equipment, and people where they're most needed. This also helps free up more specialized aircraft to focus on their core missions. With the ISR-configured caravans staying under the 300th Air Intelligence and Security Wing, the Air Force can now balance surveillance and logistics missions more efficiently. So what does this mean overall? The acquisition shows that the Philippine Air Force isn't just waiting for foreign aid anymore. It's actively planning, budgeting, and acquiring aircraft that fill real operational gaps. Whether it's for troop mobility, equipment delivery, or support during natural disasters, this new C208B is a welcome addition to the fleet. And now, we shift our focus to the Philippine Coast Guard, which also made headlines this week by acquiring its fifth BN2 Islander aircraft, tail number 829. This light aircraft was generously donated by Flightline Airways, a move that reflects a growing trend of private sector support for the country's maritime security efforts. But this wasn't just a hand-me-down. Before it was officially handed over, the aircraft underwent extensive maintenance and servicing, ensuring it's in optimal condition to support Coast Guard missions. Let's talk about why this donation matters. As we all know, the Philippines is an archipelago of over 7,600 islands. Monitoring such a vast maritime domain, especially with continued Chinese incursions into the West Philippine Sea, requires air assets that can fly long hours, reach remote areas, and conduct persistent surveillance. With tail number 829 now in active service, the Peace G can further strengthen its maritime patrol and domain awareness capabilities. This aircraft is expected to join operations monitoring the country's territorial waters, archipelagic sea lanes, and exclusive economic zone (EEZ). And it comes just in time. Beijing's continuous breaches of our sovereign maritime territory have made it increasingly necessary for the Philippines to improve both surface and aerial monitoring. The BN2 Islander, while small, is a reliable and cost-effective platform for such missions. It can fly low and slow, perfect for visually identifying suspicious activity, gathering data, and supporting search and rescue operations. The Coast Guard now operates 5 Islanders in total: T/N251, T/N684, T/N2169, and 4177, both originally donated by the Philippine National Police, and now T/N829. These Islanders form the backbone of the Coast Guard's air surveillance fleet. They may not be high-tech, but they're proven workhorses, and they help make up for the chronic shortage of maritime patrol aircraft across the country's military and civilian agencies. So, what do these developments tell us? First, they show that slowly but surely, the Philippines is plugging the gaps in its aerial and maritime security network. Whether it's the Air Force investing in transport aircraft that could deliver rapid support across the islands, or the Coast Guard expanding its aerial patrol capabilities through strategic donations, every new asset counts. Second, there's a clear effort to diversify sources of capability development. Not everything is dependent on military aid. In fact, the PAF's acquisition of the Cessna C208B through domestic funds shows a healthy shift toward internal capacity building, a sign that the government is beginning to prioritize defense in a more proactive and strategic way. Third, these upgrades enhance our resilience not just in the face of foreign threats, but also in responding to disasters, crises, and humanitarian missions. From typhoons to maritime accidents, having more aircraft ready to deploy means more lives can be saved. And finally, we're seeing increased cooperation between the private sector and state agencies. Flightline Airways' donation is a great example of how companies can support national security and maritime safety, especially when state budgets are limited. And that wraps up today's update. The Philippine Air Force's new C208B Grand Caravan and the Coast Guard's latest BN2 Islander may be small steps, but they're steps in the right direction. As the Philippines navigates a challenging security environment, these platforms will play crucial roles in maintaining sovereignty, safety, and service across the archipelago. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on Philippine defense, maritime security, and regional developments. Until next time, stay informed and stay patriotic.